Welcome to the North Broward Preparatory School here in Coconut Creek, Florida. My name is Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Eagles, joined as always by my good friend and broadcast colleague Ben Curtis for this game between the Belen Jesuit Wolverines and your North Broward Eagles. This is going to be a great one, Ben. The Jesuit Wolverines are the former 7A 16 district champions. Does North Broward have a long road ahead of them tonight?
Well, as I mentioned during the test, not only are they punching ahead of their class, 5A for the Eagles, 7A for the Wolverines. The Wolverines are not only the defending district champions, they're defending regional champions as well. But the big story coming into this one is the fact that these two teams are trending in very different ways. North Broward has been playing very good ball of late. They've won 3 of their last 4. However, Belen Jesuit won their last game, but they've still lost 4 of their last 5. They need to right the ship in a hurry, and we'll see if they can do so with Brown on the mound. That's Danny Brown on the mound for Belen Jesuit, but we get started with North Broward on the mound, and it's Nick O'Brien, someone we haven't seen on the mound a whole lot tonight. He's got 7 innings under his belt, 10 hits, 7 earned runs, 13 of them total, but only 7 of them earned, so some hard luck for O'Brien over the course of the year. 8 strikeouts to go along with 7 walks and 3 hit batters, so if O'Brien can keep his control under his belt for the majority of this game, the North Broward should be very well situated as we are almost ready to get underway here, Sam.
I'll tell you my take on it as soon as I go ahead and announce the first batter, because I'm doing PA as well during this game. Leading off for the Wolverines, number 15, Eric Wilson. In my opinion, the story with the starting pitcher, Nick O'Brien, is going to be longevity, because O'Brien traditionally is a late reliever, setup man, closer for North Broward. Is he going to have what it takes to go the distance as a starting pitcher tonight?
Well, this is what exactly these games are for, is to answer these kinds of questions.
As the first one is high and outside for a ball, and we're underway.
These out-of-district games, North Broward's next game in district, and it's a massive one against Somerset Academy. We'll talk more about that in the near future.
O'Brien hurls another ball, I should say, hoping for a strike.
So these out-of-district games are a great way for manager Brian Campbell to figure out what he's doing with his pitching staff.
3 straight balls, all in about the same location so far for Nick O'Brien. Think he's still warming up?
I think he's just getting a feel for the play so far, getting a feel for the umpire as well.
Finally finds a strike zone, 3-1 now.
Eric Wilson, this leadoff hitter, batting .282 on the year, 4 RBIs to go along with 1 stolen base. He is dangerous on the base paths.
And we're going to see just how dangerous right now as he takes his base, bringing up the next batter. Number 13, John Bardich. So now Bardich makes his way into the box. He's playing third base tonight for the Belen Jesuit Wolverines, which during our mic test we were wondering whether it was pronounced Belen Jesuit or Belen Jesuit. The answer is Belen Jesuit. That's not our trivia question for the night.
We will have that, though, for you. My investigative reporting, though, coming out with the pronunciation of the school.
Truly Pulitzer worthy.
Thank you. The
inside 1-0.
The Miami-based school, Miami-Dade County, coming up to face the North Broward Eagles. Bit of a drive for the Wolverines.
Especially at this time, too. We're talking a Monday. Probably started driving up here somewhere around 4:30. You're hitting rush hour traffic. I can't imagine it took any less than an hour and a half to get here, as the pitch is high for ball 2.
But the Wolverines arrived here fairly early, Sam. I was here before the game, and they walked in right about 5:30, about an hour and a half before the game started.
Pitching coach Brandon Cooney is already coming out for a mound visit. Really wants to settle down Nick O'Brien so early in this game. He's thrown 6 balls and 1 strike so far.
Well, it's not what you wanted to see if you were North Broward's pitching staff. Obviously still very early, but Nick O'Brien has to settle down a little bit. North Broward's going to want to save their big guns for the game against Somerset Academy. That's on Wednesday the 29th, and you'll be able to watch that right here on Brainwash Sports Twitch TV. 7 o'clock start for that one. North Broward 5th in 5A 14, and every district game is extremely important, especially this one where they play the 3rd place Panthers.
North Broward in their last game picked up a 7-1 win over Lake Worth Christian. Nearly had a shutout, too. I looked over for you to continue that and remembered you weren't at that game. Here's the pitch. Inside 3-0.
Unfortunately, I was not. I am at this one, though. Very glad to be with you, though. Ben Curtis, Sam Gelfand here on Brainwash Sports Twitch TV.
Fortunately, I had to hold that one down on my own. You left me. Here's the pitch. Finds the strike zone. 3-1. Looks like Bardich got a little antsy, tried to make his way towards first base prematurely.
Not a move you see made every day, especially at the high school level and from a hitter the level of Bardich.
That one is fouled out of the ballpark and hits a tree.
The junior is currently second in the team in RBIs. He's got 9. Trails only CJ Vasquez, who's on deck. We'll talk about him a little bit more in a minute.
So now there's a full count for John Bardich. Fouls that one off again. Believe that hit another tree. Even though they use metal bats in this league, he's getting some decent lumber behind the ball.
Attaboy. O'Brien settled down very nicely, though, after the pitching visit. He's been able to pound the strike zone a little bit more.
Here's the pitch. And that one's hit on the line, but foul down the third base line.
O'Brien did not fool Bardich there, Sam.
Now the batter retreats back into the box, and the runner retreats back to first base. Xavier Edwards seemed to run and grab the ball, so he's got to wait back to get into his spot unless they were going to pull some very weird shift. Popped up high once again, this time towards North Broward's dugout, going back and out of play.
Another pitch, though, that we've seen O'Brien been able to find the strike zone. He hasn't yet been able to get Bardich retired, but he's still been able to pound the strike zone more. Definitely a good sign for the Eagles.
Once again, a full count for Bardich as he steps back into the box. Righty-righty matchup here. Tries a pickoff move. Not successful. Wasn't the quickest pickoff move I've ever seen. In fact, it looked like O'Brien hesitated for a little bit before hurling it over to first.
He's got to keep his mind right now on Bardich, though.
Let's see if he does. Here's the full count, and that is ripped into left field. Will it be foul? It is. Thank you for the certain call from the umpire.
Long at-bat here from Bardich, and although North Broward has to be happy that O'Brien's pounding the strike zone more, they can't be happy with the pitch count that he's already racked up, especially with the fact that they want to save their pitchers for that game against Somerset.
Remember, if you're between the ages of 15 to 16 in this league, you can only throw a maximum of 95 pitches per game. 17 or 18, 105, although you do get to finish a batter. Batter takes off. The runner takes off, pounded the same place. This one's going to be fair, though. Into the corner. Runner's going to hold up at second and third, respectively. Bardich has himself a no-out double, putting 2 runners in scoring position. Number 10, CJ Vasquez. And this is not the man North Broward wants up with 2 runners in scoring position.
Absolutely not, Sam. Vasquez, the senior, is hitting .361 on the year, 10 RBIs to go along with 2 home runs. He is very dangerous.
He gets settled in the strike zone. O'Brien finds a sign he likes. Ball, Clyde had to pop up to keep that from going out of play, and now time is called. Looks like Clyde's going to have a brief chat with O'Brien.
Sending our very best to the North Broward track and field team. They've got a huge week coming up. Bulldog preview in Stewart tomorrow, and then the big one before the district tournament, the Florida Relays at the University of Florida in Gainesville on Thursday. So sending our very best to all of the Eagle track and field runners. We know that they will make us proud.
North Broward has traditionally had a very strong track and field team. We hope that that tradition continues. Of course, I haven't exactly been able to follow it. I don't go here anymore. The 1-0 was a breaking ball, 2-0. Don't think Vasquez really had to duck for that one.
I don't think that he was expecting an off-speed, especially with the fact that O'Brien hasn't had the best of control so far tonight, and he had the 1-0 count on him.
So here's the 2-0. A little high. It's going to be 3-0. And now O'Brien is right back where he did not want to be.
Not the worst thing in the world, though, to walk Vasquez. We mentioned how dangerous he is, and there is an open base at first.
Yes, but that would mean bases would be loaded with no outs. Fouls that one up high and back out of play.
Slightly surprising that Vasquez had the green light to go. 3-0, 2 runners on base, nobody out here in the top of the first inning.
Well, sometimes it's a smart strategy to go on a 3-0 just because you know you're going to get a pitch in the strike zone. Differing philosophies among hitting coaches in regards to that. Finds one in the dirt. Now the bases are loaded for Carlos Lara.
Stepping up to bat, number 5, Carlos Lara.
He is playing first base tonight.
Lara, a very capable hitter himself, don't get me wrong. He has 6 RBIs on the year, 290 hitter on the campaign. But Vasquez on first base is not the worst place in the world.
Here's the pitch. Finds a strike zone. Perfectly placed pitch, 0-1. O'Brien, much like a lot of North Broward's hitters, can be hot when he is hot. If that makes any sense, here's the pitch. Floats one in for strike 2.
That's a little bit more like it. O'Brien starting to find his confidence after the couple of walks and the big hit from Bardich. So we'll see if he can finish off Lara here.
Well, we'll see. Here's the 0-2. Hits that one on the ground to third base. He's going to find the catcher. Attempted to find a throw to first, but it looks like the runner was blocking the throw. So now there's 1 out, no damage done, but the bases are still loaded.
Good execution there from Goberville over at third, and Clyde at home to get the lead runner, keep us scoreless.
If Clyde was a few inches further over to the left, he could have even had a throw to first and possibly gotten a double play.
I don't think that you want to take that risk here. It's at the top of the first inning, a lot of baseball left, just get the outs.
That's true, especially since momentum can be decided so early in the game as Torres calls for time and gets it. Time back in. Here comes O'Brien. Another perfectly placed breaking ball for a strike.
And that breaking ball may very well turn out to be his bread and butter tonight. It's the only pitch that he's been able to throw consistently for a strike.
Not necessarily a bad thing. Here's the 0-1. That one's high, 1-1.
North Broward, no stranger to high-scoring games. They're getting outscored so far on the campaign, 74-75. Belen Jesuit, by comparison, outscoring their opponents, but 56 runs for, 46 runs against. So 2 very different styles of play.
A big swing and a big miss, 1-2 now. If you're a hitter, you want to avoid those kinds of swings. Not only was it a big swing, but it wasn't a very fast swing either.
A big opportunity here for O'Brien to get out of this batter and face a batter with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
Got him! Suddenly there's 2 outs. Bases remain loaded, bringing up number 24, Andrew Hernandez.
Stepping up to the plate, number 24, Andrew Hernandez.
And suddenly what seemed like a very, very bleak start to the game with the bases loaded, nobody out. O'Brien couldn't find the strike zone. He had 2 walks. Now he finds the escape path in the form of Andrew Hernandez.
Well, we'll see what happens. Hernandez is a .241 hitter. 1 home run, 6 RBIs on the year, which puts him second in home runs, tied with Humberto Torres with 1 apiece. So we know that he has some pop.
Not too uncommon for catchers.
That one's in the dirt, gets away from Clyde, but gets over to it fast enough that the runner on third is not going to try anything.
Keep in mind a very, very fast backstop here at North Broward Prep. That looks like it's brick or maybe cement. The ball comes right off of it very quickly. Very dangerous for runners on third to try to steal home on wild pitches.
And speaking of pop, this is a very big ballpark. If you're someone like Hernandez, you probably don't want to look long ball for a grand slam because you're probably not going to get it. As he gets a strike, 2-1. Instead of getting yourself a long ball, you'll probably find yourself a fly out to the warning track.
Huge pitch here for O'Brien. If he finds a strike, then he could go back to the breaking ball. If he misses, then maybe he wanted to stay fastball with another ball, meaning that the first run of the game scored.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball low. Well, now O'Brien's in a little bit of trouble.